Alright, this video was intended to be more of a video companion to the post. Normally I did it just a video of the post. This is more of a video companion of the post. In Season 3, I think they've done a lot to make champions better in their item diversity. They've done a lot. Not everybody builds cookie cutter, but I still feel that a lot of people build cookie cutter too often. I mean, that's because a lot of the more unique items are very bad right now. And starting going down the list, let's just look at them real quick. Banshee's Veil tends to be taken off by AoEs that aren't even doing very much damage far more often than it does something useful. In addition to that, 25 seconds out of combat is asking way too much of people, way too much. And so I think they should really look at it twofold. One, it should only affect single target abilities because that's, I think, really more what it was designed for. I think it was designed more for beating people like Scion. And with champions lately getting some of these spammable AoE effects lately, that it really takes away from the item. So I think you should make it single target abilities because single target abilities tend to be more important to a champion, and getting them off tends to be taking it away from a champion tends to be more impactful than making a Mumu's AoE only hit one less person. This would make things like Curse of the Sad Mummy hit it harder, but I think that's the price to pay. Additionally, maybe they could take the timer down to 15 or 20 seconds out of combat, or make it 35 seconds but include combat. I think it really does need to go down. It's too weak right now. Zephyr is more of a hybrid, do everything item. And it's really hard to build with that 1200 combined cost. It should really come down to 800 combined, but build out of an additional longsword and have the damage go up to 25 from 20. I'd say that because I think they should enhance it as a hybridy item rather than make it better at attack speed or give it crit or something that would linchpin it into one champion type or another. I think it's a good item that can be built on champions like Jax as well as Graves, and they should retain that. But right now it's a little too weak, a little bit too hard to build. Work on those things and people would maybe buy it. Frozen Mallet got nerfed in Season 3 in addition to already being one of the weaker items. So right now it's doing really bad. I think honestly what you could do is reduce it to 3100 gold and give it 35 damage. That would make it more hybridy in that you're not trying to make it a pure tank item, but it's also too expensive right now. So there you go. You're not trying to make it a full tank item, not a full damage item, but a tank / damage item. Give it 35 damage. It's a little bit more impressive of a number, and 3100 cost will make it more competitive against the other tank items. Remember that if you bought Tenacity to fight Frozen Mallet, it only lasts 1 second. That's not a lot. In fact, most bruisers attack slower than 1 second. So you will actually be able to just straight run away from them right now. Yeah. Wit's End, I think, needs the same change I gave to Zephyr, but a little bit less important. I think I need to add a new item that's 400 gold, but does 15 magic damage on attacks. Why 15 if Longsword does 10? Because no abilities scale off of how much on-hit damage you do, other than like Shyvana's Q and maybe Warwick Ultimate, stuff like that. They're very rare, they're not very powerful anyway, and they also tend to give good AD ratios anyway. So if champions are focusing more on only doing auto attacks and only scaling off a few items, it would be a better item. Additionally, since you made it better while building, that would make it a better item. Additionally, I think the magic damage per hit should probably go up to 45 from 42. That's because, obviously in Season 2 everybody built resistances. So splitting your damage types is very powerful. In Season 3, it's helped simply when your runes are affecting magic or physical, an item that doesn't help that, and it won't, because if you're building Wit's End, you're getting more attack speed, which helps your physical damage, but then you're getting magic damage, which helps, obviously, your magic damage. So the item itself is actually more of a hybrid item than you'd think, because in order to attack, you have to do physical damage, alright? So I think it should probably do 45, make it a little bit better compared to other items, especially with how weak magic resist is right now. Hurricane and Hydra, I really consider them one item since you can't build both, but I think they're too expensive right now. They really are. Just bring them down in cost. So with all that in mind, why am I suggesting this? I think building and counter building should be a little more rewarded right now. It's a little bit not rewarded right now. Rewarded a little bit better, and I think people will want to do it. For example, if I'm fighting Kale with Volibear, and I go the typical, Warmog, Solari, Sunfire build, for example, that shouldn't be as rewarded as building a frozen mallet and keeping her slowed so she can't slow me out of range. Or, when I'm playing Jax against Darius, or Irelia against Darius, I can build Zephyr to reduce his attack speed slow, time, so I can auto attack better, Or, if I'm going up against Kale with Volibear, I could go Zephyr, Frozen Mallet, stuff like that. And I think counter building should be a little more rewarded, and right now it's a little weak because the items are a little weak. And so these items would really, they're all counter build items. They're not main, items, and so they would, especially Hurricane and Hydra, they aren't main items. Nobody builds them. Even Kog'Maw doesn't just go, oops, okay, time for a Hurricane game. He'll go, ooh, I guess their team's getting really, really tanky, so let's build a Hurricane to AoE them down a little bit better. So there you go. I feel like with these changes, people would be more inclined to build different ways as compared to how, they're kind of weak right now. Not even as good as main items. So, there you go.